And now, and now, from Shenango Valley Studios, coming to you live, one of the most talked about shows in the Shenango Valley, because it's the only show in the Shenango Valley. Your host, Sean Zipai with The Zip Code.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of technical difficulties so far, folks, but hey, who cares? This is the zip code. I don't care about technical difficulties. We get it done. And if we don't get it done, then later down the road, we get it done. All right, folks. Great show tonight. Juwan's going to join us. He might be on the road, but he's going to join us anyways because he's that kind of guy. So, before we get to Juwan, I'm going to bring him in a second. I want to thank Sheets. There it is. Sheets, thank you. Thank you to Sheets. Sheets Run and Done. Also, a big thank you to our new sponsor, Lem's Shoes. Lem's Shoes. All right, so let's get to Juwan here. Enough with the funny business. Connect. We shall see. There he is.
What's happening, man?
Juwan, what's up, man?
What's happening, dog?
Okay, just a disclaimer. Juwan is not driving.
Yeah, I'm not driving right now. It's the wife that's driving.
He's rolling in the passenger seat.
For sure. I couldn't do it while I was driving.
No. Big facts, no. So, everybody, welcome to the Zip Code. We got Juwan Johnson on the show, a New Jersey native, then to Penn State, then to Oregon, and now with your own New Orleans Saints.
Yo.
Here he is. Juwan, we got a lot to talk about, man. It's been almost a year since you were on the Zip Code.
It's almost been a while, man. But we back. We back on it.
We're back on it. All right, so, folks, if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll try to get to it as best we can. But welcome to the Zip Code. Let's start off with something hot here. Juwan, did you know that you were going to be in a song from Matty Fresh?
I had no idea, man. I mean, when the song came out, it was hot. And then out of nowhere, I just heard my name. And I was like, dang, I'm actually in this song. But it was tough. I'm not going to lie. It was a good song. And especially it was much needed for a year like that. So it was good.
Hey, I knew about the song, but then I just saw that it was blowing up for Trace. And then everywhere I turned, I was hearing that song, and I was seeing Trace's name connected with it. And then there were so many social media posts about it. And then my buddy said, every time you pull up on campus, somebody is just blasting that bad boy at Penn State. So, hey, you gotta respect the beat, though, man. It actually is catchy.
It is. I mean, I don't know when it was like starting to get popular, but I was just like, man, like, why is this song blowing up so wild when it came out a couple years ago? And then I don't know, and then I was like, Trace, like, you got to make a TikTok, man. I mean, they going crazy over you on TikTok, man. All and behold, he had a TikTok in a matter of a couple weeks, so it was crazy. It was blowing up, and I was like, wow, this is insane.
So do you know anything about the artist Matty Fresh?
I don't.
so he just made.
That was like the only song I heard. I mean, I know they had a song for Trace, and I was like, all right, so we heard it, and it was good. Like, it was good, but it didn't blow up. It didn't get any traction, but out of nowhere, it just happened. I was like, why is this trending? And it was so bizarre.
Folks, if you don't know about the song that Juwan and Trace McSorley and a few other guys are the stars of, go ahead and look it up on Spotify or whatever you listen to music on. It's by Matty Fresh. It's just called Trace McSorley. It's that simple, but it's a freaking jam. So we might be cutting it out here every once in a while, but we're just gonna roll on with it. Juwan, you're from Jersey, where I went to Petty for football.
Yeah, I'm in South Jersey.
All right, so Juwan,
in Glassboro. I see. I was in South Jersey. It was in Glassboro.
Gotcha. Yeah. So hey, if we cut out a little bit or whatever, just rejoin. We'll just roll with the punches. No worries, man.
Yep.
So hey, the last time you were on here back in, I think it was maybe May. You didn't even have a TikTok back then, did you?
I mean, we had a TikTok, but I mean, we weren't really going hard on it. So I mean, we really started going hard on it in June. So in May, we were pretty much chilling, doing pretty much whatever. So we really didn't do anything in May.
So whose idea was it? Yours or Shannon's, just to start doing random TikTok videos and just jumping on the train?
It was definitely I think both of us. I think it was more of me, I think, at first, because me and Gary V, I'm part of his agency, so we had like a whole like Zoom meeting with some of the guys that's in our agency, and he kind of talked to us about TikTok's going to be the next big thing. So I was like, all right. I mean, we kind of need to jump on it because I mean, him of all people know about social media. So I was like, all right. So then we started to get on it. We started doing little videos here and there. We started beginning of June, and we actually started to get kind of big late June. So it was a process. We were just grinding it out.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. I mean, oh, by the way, the song is called Trace McSorley, for somebody wanted to know. Trace McSorley, great song. But yeah, so I wasn't, I have a TikTok. I've done like a couple random things, and then I saw that you guys were on TikTok, and I started watching some of the videos, and then I didn't go on there a ton, and then next thing I know, it was like Juwan and Shan, they hit 1 million followers, and I'm like,
yeah.
What? And then all of a sudden, it's like 1.6 million followers.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, it was just like one video after another at some point. It was just like anything we did, it was just, people were just loving it. And so we just kept feeding off of that. And then we kind of found what the formula was to pretty much going viral or even having a good video. So we kind of just went off of that and just kept going.
That's awesome, man. I'm not going to read all these, but I just had somebody just to say that my wife and I love Juwan and his wife. They actually made us smile when we needed it the most. My wife had stage 3 thyroid cancer. Your TikTok and YouTube channel has helped us so much. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So I mean, is it actual work? I mean, who produces these videos? I mean, do you have somebody that does it, or do you do some of it, or Shannon does some of it, or what?
I mean, if it's TikTok, we're both doing it. I mean, we're like big on it. I mean, I feel like at first I was really pushing it, but now it's really her that's like doing a lot of the load for it, because I mean, she has great ideas. She's starting to get more comfortable. She's starting to fall in love with it, and I'm kind of letting her take the reins on it because this is something that she's always wanted to do, and so she's doing a great job with it. And as far as YouTube, she comes up with the ideas, and I took class about editing and stuff, so I just been doing a lot of editing. And as far as ideas and what all that, that's all her. I mean, I'm just saying, all right, that sounds good to me, and we kind of just do it.
So while we're still on the TikTok topic here, the comments from people, dude, are unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, anytime you deal with people, everything in the whole entire world is going to be said, because people are just ridiculous in general. But I mean, some of the stuff I read, I'm just like, are you serious right now?
Yeah,
Like, what the
yeah,
heck is going through these people's minds, man?
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just people. I mean, I've got a lot of, backlash from way before. So I mean, this is nothing new for me, but I know it was different for her. She's like, man, like these people are brutal, and I'm just like, Shane, like if whenever you become big at anything, you're always gonna have more people that hate you, or you're just gonna have more opinions. So, I mean, it's always good to get a lot of followers, get a lot of views, and things like that. But that only means the more comments or the more opinions you're gonna have. So that's something that I kind of just wanted to express to her, and even like me sometimes. It was just like so long that I got some bad mouths talking about me or bad critics, but at the end of the day, we just kind of make light out of it. Sometimes we make videos, trying to shed light on that. So we love it. Man. Sometimes we kind of like the bad comments because it makes our content even better.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you can make light of it on a video, it's fabulous, man.
Right,
Those are the best.
right.
Um, but yeah, hey, at the end of the day, there's sin in the world, right?
Yeah,
I mean, people are going to say things. He's gotta roll with the punches and try to make the best of it. But yeah, man, it's crazy.
very
Um,
true.
so let's folks, welcome to the Zip Code. We're on with Juwan Johnson, plays for the New Orleans Saints. So Juwan, last time you were on, you didn't even go to you didn't have training camp yet, and so I want you to kind of just shed some light on what it was like your first few days with training camp. I mean, did you have to memorize the whole entire playbook before you showed up?
Uh, yeah. I mean, you had to get a good grasp for it, so you had to have at least a foundation, and that's one of the things that the coaches we did in the off season was pretty much get a foundation because I mean, playing with Drew Brees, you're always going to have some critiques or just like minor little things that he's going to change. So it was just really interesting to find, what I learned in the off season, how different it was, getting there, like actually getting there. I'm just like, man, like I didn't learn this then, like I didn't learn that then. So it was just like really different to, really dissect the whole playbook and the whole offense, knowing that you have one of the smartest and the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody's soaking in anything they can take from Drew Brees, but that relationship, even for your first few weeks there being on the practice squad, is he really fine tuning that relationship with all the wide receivers at the same time, or is it like, hey, these guys are on the active roster currently, focusing most of the time on them, or is it a group effort at all times?
Right. I definitely think it's a group effort, but I mean, I feel like a lot of times I won't get reps with Drew just because, and I'm on practice squad, and that's totally understandable because it's like, why would he get some reps with me? But a lot of times he is working with a lot of young guys. Like if it's at the end of practice, he's pulling guys like me and some other guys just to get some reps that he's probably missed during practice. So it was definitely good to do that because later on in the year. He threw to a guy like me who was on practice squad, and it definitely was. It's like we never missed a beat because just that little route after practice, it helped me gain a little confidence from catching the ball from him, and I definitely gained confidence in him to rely on somebody like me.
Your first catch ever. Did you know that was coming on was that a little slant route?
Yeah, I knew exactly what was coming. I mean, we had a 3-by-1. I was the outside receiver. It was man, and I knew exactly what was coming to me. The guy across from me, I played against him in college, so I was like, I already know what's about to happen, what I'm about to do, and the ball was coming to me. So I just had to, get over there as fast as I can. The ball got tipped, so I was like, oh man, so I definitely can't let this ball, drop or anything like that. So I just tried to make a play. It was third down. It was short, obviously, but it was just good to get that first catch under my belt. Now it's just like, all right, now let's play. Instead of just, and I guess the next thing is just getting your first touchdown. You get the first touchdown. Now you really feel comfortable just playing. So it was fun. It was fun definitely catching that first pass, it being kind of wacky, being tipped. But, by any means necessary, you just got to get it.
Heck yeah, man. Juwan, I still remember I was on my way to get some food, and I think I looked up on ESPN, like the app. I'm like, oh, like I wonder if Juwan had a catch, and I saw it had a catch. And listen, I pulled up on the story, and I was like, yo, everybody, Juwan Johnson got his first catch. And while I was doing that, a big Sheetz gas station was behind me. So listen, the zip code and Sheetz have your back, brother.
Right. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, can we get a little bit of like I don't necessarily think it's inside information, but what was that? What's the play call? I mean, can we get that?
Nah, I can't give you a play call. But nah, I just know exactly what it was. I mean, people know it's a simple slant. No, they were a man, so I know exactly what was coming, and I just wish we had got the first down for it, because probably would have ended the game with a touchdown and not a field goal. So
Yeah, gotcha. So midway through the season, you go from the practice squad to the active roster. What? This is a question that somebody sent in as well. What major changes are there just for you going from the practice squad to the active roster, besides reps in practice, obviously?
yeah, well, I tell you what, the money's definitely different. That's one thing. Uh, you definitely get excited, when Friday comes, you see a paycheck of, a certain amount of dollars and something else. So that's something different. But I think that the mentality definitely is changed. You're definitely in a mentality where it's just like, all right, I got to treat my body this way. I have to go to sleep this time. I got to say this amount, because it's different when you're on practice squad. You necessarily you study yourself more so, trying to get yourself better. How can I, critique myself getting better in this way, in this fashion? But when you're in the active roster, it was a different mentality for me. I just was really studying the opponent, really studying the call sheets and seeing what I needed to do, how I needed to get better, and really just trying to help my team. I mean, a lot of the times I was on special teams, and sometimes I get in at wide receiver, so I was studying special team stuff. So it was just a lot of studying for the most part, and it was more mental than physical, because practice squad is more physical for me, and on active roster is more mental.
Folks, you're watching the Zip Code with Juwan Johnson, wide receiver for the Saints. Thank you to Sheetz. Sheetz run and done. Also, thank you to Lem's Shoes for the sponsorship. Lem's Shoes. Hey, Juwan, I'm being serious about this. I'm not even just saying this for the show. You got to look up that company,
Okay.
Lem's Shoes. Yeah, because I saw you training with some correct toes. You got the spacers for your toes.
Yep.
All their shoes, all their boots, they got a wide toe box, and it's the natural shape of the foot.
Okay.
They're all about the correct toes, man. It's all about the natural shape of the foot. There's zero drop shoes from heel to toe. There's no major drop. So what you probably got what? You wearing like a size 15 or 16?
I'm wearing 14.
They might be able to fit you.
Okay. Good.
Might be able to fit you. Yeah.
All
Or
right.
maybe if the owner is watching the show right now, we can get a little plug there. Get this man some Lem's boots here.
Right. Absolutely. I'm definitely looking at that.
For sure. All right, so let's get on to something else Saints related, and then I'll get into some of these other questions. How weird was that playing without fans, man?
It's definitely weird. I mean, for me, starting off, just like first, NFL experience, it was just like, wow, like it's no one here. This is like what you dream of, to be here this whole time, and you don't have fans to like really get you amped up or excited. But honestly, it's really teaching people. It's just like practice. Honestly, it's crazy. It's kind of bringing you back to when you were a kid, when you don't have many people watching, and you're just playing the game. And so it was really weird, really, really freaky, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's just like you got to bring your own juice. A lot of times you hear that in football or even in practice, bring your own juice and stuff like that. But you really had to. The guys around you, like, that's the only juice. You'll probably get some music. If it's not the right music, then it's just like, what are you going to do if you don't have the right music? So, it was definitely weird. I mean, towards the end of the season, there were more fans, but we went to places like Chicago, and it was like no fans, and it was pretty miserable. I mean, and plus it was kind of cold too. So, you just gotta. It's just like a really mental battle that you got to fight through to try to pull off tough wins in the NFL.
So in Chicago, were there even like family members there?
There was no family members. It was no fans. It was nothing. It was just two teams playing the game of football, just trying to win a game. It was honestly crazy, and that's something that a lot of people haven't seen. Just like two teams really out there is really just weird to be out there and just look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what about actual like fan noise? Because obviously when we're watching on the broadcast, they do a good job with camera angles and a lot of maybe they pump in sound. But in
Right.
the stadium, are they pumping in that same fan noise, or is there no fan noise?
Yeah. Sometimes they're pumping in some fan noise. I mean, they're doing it. I mean, more for the home team, more so, like a first down or a big catch or a touchdown, more so. They try to simulate sort of a fan sort of thing, but it's not the same. Like at the end of the day, it's still not the same. You still have the little noise in the background, like if you're on offense and you're playing away, you try to simulate like a crowd being loud, but it's definitely not the same.
No. Yeah, the obviously the networks know what they're doing. They were able to pull off a lot of tricks, and
Right.
and so even so, whenever they got little cardboard figures in the stadium. I mean, if they
Right.
pan fast, you're like, oh, like there's a decent amount of fans there. When in
Right.
reality, there's probably seven. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so I'm gonna get to another question here. We had somebody. Are you so your actual gear for all the games? I understand that some people have contracts with Nike, some people have contracts with Adidas or whatever. But let's say you don't. Are you just choosing like, hey, I want to wear Nike cleats, and then the Saints, are getting them for you, or how does that work?
You pretty much wear anything you want, man. I mean, I can go out there wearing Nike cleats and Adidas gloves. Like I don't, and that's just sort of how it is when you're not, really signing anything. I mean, and to me, I kind of like that freedom. I'm not really, up to anybody to, you know, wear Nike or Under Armour or anything like that. I can go out any game because I switch my cleats out a lot. So one game I might wear Adidas, the next game I might wear Jordan, the next game I might wear Nike. So it's pretty up to me. The Saints give you that. They have a large amount of cleats, gloves, gear. So it's great to kind of switch in and out when you want to.
Yeah, I think this is the time that I should say this. The zip code is actually going to be coming out with the set of NFL caliber wide receiver gloves.
Okay.
Um, yeah, they're going to be like mittens. They're not going to be like with the five finger, like the 5 finger gloves. They're going to be like mittens. They're going to help people catch.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so hey, all we need is one guy, Juwan, to jump on the bandwagon.
I tell you that all you need is one person to make a change. I'm telling you.
Just to answer a question that came on, yes, I believe Juwan is going to play next season. Yes, I believe so. Um,
Right.
so let's. So I mean, as far as is everybody switching? Are you switching cleats every single game, or is it like, hey, these cleats are broken in, I'm going to wear these for the whole entire season?
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it took me quite a bit to find the cleats that I actually like. It took me pretty much to the end of the season. I found some cleats that I really liked, and I kind of stuck with them. But throughout the whole year, I was just wearing different cleats just to do it because I could. It felt good. I mean, in the NFL, so I could wear. I mean, when you're at Oregon and you're at Penn State, you're just wearing Nike. You can wear Under Armour, Adidas, anything like that. So it was definitely fun to try my own different stuff just to wear. Um, but it felt good just to switch in and out, wear Nike, wear Jordan. You're good when you want to.
Hey, folks, sorry about the. I know there's a bunch of questions. They're not loading for some reason. But we did have one that popped in. This will be the end for the questions that were sent in. But what specific goals does Juwan actually have for year two? Any personal goals?
Yeah. Personal goals is just having better stats than what I had this year. I mean, that's always the stat. It's just being better than what I was last year, and just having more of a role on special teams. I feel like that's one of the or my key of just actually getting on the field is just having an impact on special teams, having a role. Whenever they have those conferences, whenever they have those meetings on Monday, I want my name to be called like, oh, we have to have him up. So That's the biggest thing for me is just get on that field, stay on the field, and just make an impact.
I'm gonna get soft on you here for a question because I'm just curious about this. Obviously, you deal with this in any new thing. How
Right.
how how hard is it to start to become buddies with some guys? Are they real closed off? I mean, obviously you connect immediately with some
Right.
guys and not other guys, or is it like, oh, you know what, Juwan, he might be taking my job. I mean, look at him in
Right.
practice. I mean, like,
Right.
what's that dynamic like?
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely get those sort of vibes. I mean, I hear it more on other teams than this team, but this team is like, um, it's different. Like when I talk to people, they're just like, man, it's not like that everywhere. And this is an older group of guys, and they're just all about winning. And it's just like it's not about, oh, you take my job, because that's just part of the game. I mean, if someone's better than you, you can't stop that. I mean, someone's just better than you. But people here are always willing to help. I mean, Mike T was a big a big person in helping me. Like he just always wanted to help me, always wanted to get me better. Um, we sat. I remember me sitting at his locker. We sat for about 30, 45 minutes just talking about the game. Um, and he was just telling me about everything, steps, routes, for coverages, just personal, just talked about everything. And that kind of helped me. And just was like, dang, like he's really not trying to sell me short of anything. He's trying to see the best for me. And, seeing guys like Drew and even Jameis, like me and Jameis have a close and tight relationship, especially, after practice. He was just telling me, what the things need to get better on, just being very honest and very transparent. And I think that's what helped me a lot this season, instead of being, I guess, sobbing because I'm on a practice squad. But, he really helped me out. And I feel like a lot of guys would, steer clear from people who are on the practice squad or trying to get better or trying to take their spot. But these guys were very welcoming. And me being, a rookie going into my second year, people were really, really accepting of, what people's roles were and what people were trying to accomplish. They were just trying to win.
Folks who are asking some questions in the chat, feel free to refer to our first interview that we had with Juwan back in May. It is on YouTube, the zip code. We answered a bunch of these questions as well in the first interview that you guys are asking. So feel free to look up that. It's a great interview. But Juwan, I want to mention something. So the first time I had you on, I said, listen, they're going to make you do something stupid as a rookie. And so I started listing some potential players and where they went to college, just so you would be prepared.
Yep.
Now, did that ever happen?
Not so much. I mean, some guys ask like, "Oh, where do you think he went to college?" And I'll be like, "I don't know," and then they'll tell me. But I mean, honestly, it didn't happen like I thought it would happen. A lot of things didn't happen that I think would happen. And that was just, I feel like that's just team just being like, we don't have time for that. I feel like a lot of guys were just like kind of chill about everything. I mean, obviously we play games in the locker room, like we play the video games. But other than that, it was just like it's pretty chill for the most part. So
Yeah,
I'm very more comfortable with where guys went to college. Sometimes I'm kind of surprised. I'm just like, man, like you went to that college and you're doing so well. So it's just kind of crazy.
yeah, you never know. But I pulled up the four guys that I asked you last time back in May. It was Zach Wood, the long snapper, Southern Methodist. Teron Armstead, tackle, Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yep.
Deontay Harris, wide receiver, Assumption.
Yep.
Jason Vanderline, tight end, Ferris State. Those are the four I asked you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I mean, I can't believe like Deontay Harris. I mean, he got some good playing time this year. Assumption College.
Right.
No, I have no idea where that's even at. I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, it's actually I think Assumption is in Boston. It's in Massachusetts, I believe.
Okay. Is that like some FCS school?
I think
D2?
Yeah, I think it's D2. It's D2.
Wow. There you go, folks. If you're watching and you're looking for a school to go to, Assumption College in Massachusetts. There you go. Juwan, we are eventually here in a little bit going to do another rapid fire round.
Okay.
But before we do that, what was one of like kind of the maybe the most eye-opening experience for you in the NFL this year? Like what maybe, I mean, you said, hey, a lot of things you thought were going to happen didn't happen,
Yeah.
but just kind of, is there something that was kind of like, oh man, like they do this in the NFL, or they should be doing this? Was there kind of an eye-opening experience at all this year
Um.
besides everything?
Yeah. I know. Um. I'm not gonna lie. I would say maybe the work ethic of some guys. I think I was surprised it wasn't so much physical. It was more mental. Um, I think talking to a lot of guys and just, I'm just like, yeah, why don't you like lift? Because I mean, sometimes a lot of strength coaches want us to lift, and they lift, but it's more of like a maintenance sort of lift. It's not like a heavy lift or anything like that. And a lot of, I'm just like, well, how do you maintain your strength? Like, I'm just so confused. And they're just like, yeah, we do that, but it's more maintenance, but it's really about your mental. And so I was just, thinking about guys like AK, and I remember him, telling me, man, you lifting again? I was like, yeah. It's like, man, I'm trying to get better. He said, yeah, you can do that, but it's about, it's about your mental, man. I was like, oh, okay. So, just talking to him, and, obviously Drew's like the mental guru. Like, he's like so on with everything. And I know a lot of quarterbacks use, that wristband that reads off everything. And I'm looking at Drew, and Drew doesn't even have it. Like, he just reads it off. Like, I'm just so amazed by that. And some other guys, it's just more of a mental thing. Like, I see guys in there so early, like 7 o'clock, when it means at 9, just in there watching film. So it's really impressive to see that it was more of a mental thing than a physical. Not many guys were in there just pumping iron all hard, when it was more of a mental game. So that was more eye-opening for me than anything, more glaring.
So is that really up to you how much you work out? I mean, is there like a stipulation, like, hey, everybody needs to be in the gym from 11 to 12? I mean, this is, wide receivers are working out, and then after that, or way before meetings, you can just work out as much as you want, or do you never have to go to the gym?
Yeah, no. Yeah, people usually have like a workout plan. Like, most guys, have their 3 day, 3 to 4 days. That's when you work out, get it in, and get it done. And I think that's kind of how they have it there. It's not really, they're not on you like, you have to get this done, but it's like, if you want to be, great, and you come in here and you get this done. It's that sort of thing. We're all grown, we're all, adults, and we're all pros, so we know we need from our body. So I think that was the biggest thing for our strength staff, because I feel like they're pretty good with everything. They're always helpful. I mean, they're out there shooting jobs with us, so it's like, and they're pretty good with a lot of things, and they're there for your body too, and not just to get something done on a sheet that you need to work out and stuff. So they're there to help you for the most part.
Any major difference from working out at the D1 level with the strength and conditioning coaches to the NFL level, or is it pretty much the same, cutting edge technology and cutting edge workouts?
Yeah, I think in college it was more of a as much as you can lift. Like, that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get numbers, and I feel like in NFL it's a lot more strategic, just simply for the fact that it's a longer season. I think it was more they just want things to be strategic, and we want to maintain your muscle, not to continue to build muscle. Um, they were looking out for guys. They know that we're pros, so they weren't really on us like it was in college, and that was like something that I loved. I mean, there are some things I'm just like, man, I don't know if I want to do that right now. And we just modified it and we did something else. And it wasn't like in college where you just had to just grind it out and wish for the best. But in NFL, it's definitely more lax. It's more for the players, and it's just like, oh, we understand these players, we understand their pros, and we're just gonna work around them.
So now that we're in the off season, I mean, obviously you signed a 2-year contract, so you're not a free agent right now. So I mean, technically your rights are with the Saints. So
Right.
do they control a lot of off season stuff as well, or is it pretty laxed?
It is definitely lax. They don't. I mean, they gave us a off-season plan. I mean, it's something that if you want to use this, you can. Something that's written up that I asked for. They gave it to me, and I kind of go off of it whenever I need, some guidance on, what to work out on, what to work out, and that's kind of been the biggest thing. We have a nutritionist who's been big on us and having great nutrition, so I hit her up every so often just to make sure some things are right, so I don't get banged with, whatever it may be on a drug test. So just making sure everything's right, make sure everything's NSF approved. But everything is pretty much on you. You're a pro. They notice you're a pro, so just handle your body and just come to camp ready.
Yeah, how much work do a lot of wide receivers do with quarterbacks in the offseason, or is that kind of just maybe a few weeks here and there right before training camp?
Yeah, it sort of depends. I'm not gonna lie. I work out with a variety of quarterbacks. Like sometimes I may work out with high school quarterbacks. I may work out with college or even some NFL quarterbacks. So sometimes you probably won't even see your actual quarterback until camp. That's some people, but I mean, for the most part, I see some people working out with their quarterbacks a couple times before camp, even outside of what it may be, wherever destination that they're at. But for me, I'm working out with anybody. I got to catch passes from anybody because anybody could be up. So, I mean, I'm just trying to catch different balls and just trying to be on my A game.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, folks, you're watching the Zip Code with Juwan Johnson, number 83 on the field, number 1 in your hearts, folks. Sheets running done. Thank you to Lem Shoes. Appreciate you, Rademacher. So let me switch gears here. I watch a decent amount of the Pat McAfee show.
Yep.
And he has Rogers on once a week on a Tuesday.
Okay.
And he just Rogers comes on. They BS for a while because AJ Hawk is on as well. So those guys. But one of the things that Rogers, he said he just absolutely hates and he doesn't understand why they do it was the night before the game, how you got to sleep in a hotel. Does every single team do that?
From my understanding, I think they do. I think every team sleeps in a hotel. I mean, I think it's more of this even goes back to even college. I mean, I just think it's more of a focus thing. I mean, for me, I feel like it wouldn't make a difference, but I think from the coach's perspective, I think it's more of we're trying to get these guys locked in for a game that we're about to have tomorrow. I think it's more of a mental thing and just a distraction. Because some people could, go out and do whatever before a game. So I think they're just trying to control and monitor that. So people are locked in and safe before we have a game that's important that could, be good or bad. So, I mean, they just want everything to go good. So I really think it's more of we're just trying to monitor people.
Yeah. And I get it. But he was saying, they had to be in the hotel until 5 a.m. or something like that. And guys would wake up right at 5 a.m. They would drive to their house.
Right.
And they would go get the rest of their 4 or 5 hours sleeping in their own bed. I mean,
right.
at some point, you have to think, okay, what is actually happening here? Let's use a little bit of common sense. And I understand that they want to control everybody, but like you said before, everybody's a professional, right?
True.
I mean, if you're gonna screw up and goof off and you're not gonna be ready for the game, yeah, it sucks for the team, but ultimately that's on you. I mean, you're eventually gonna lose your job.
I definitely agree with that. And that's something that I don't know. I mean, for me, it wouldn't make a difference if I was in a hotel or if I was at home. I'm going to get sleep. Like, sleep is important to me. Like, I love sleep. So for other guys, it may be different. A lot of guys may want to go out and do their thing. But, I mean, if you want to be a pro, if you want to win games and things like that, then, I mean, you're going to chillax somewhere. So I think that's what their biggest thing is, just trying to keep guys, under restriction for that one night. And I think that's what they're trying to get at.
Are a lot of guys in the NFL still sleeping in the hyperbaric or hyperbolic chambers that James Harrison used to sleep in that was 60 some degrees and it felt like whatever it was? Are guys still doing that?
That's not from what I hear. I'm not gonna lie, not from what I'm hearing, but a lot of guys, I see a lot of guys in Norma Tech boots, a lot of guys in float tanks. I mean, I just tried that more towards the end of the year. I was just like, man, this is amazing. Float tanks are amazing. And I see a lot of guys on the is it chirotherapy? I think a lot of guys on that. So I'm not really sure about the chamber. I'm not seeing too many guys in the chamber um, anymore from what I know.
So I've done the float tank twice now,
Mm,
near Pittsburgh. I've done it twice.
yeah,
The first time, I got out and I was like, okay, like
right,
I feel decent, but
right,
okay. But then the next day and the day after that, I was kind of like, I feel pretty good. Like
right,
I feel pretty good. And then
right.
so what happened? Like I had a little bit of a back tweak. I was like, I'm gonna go hit that float again. So I went like months later back to the float. I fell asleep for 50 minutes of the hour because I was so relaxed.
Wow.
And I got out, and the next day, I mean, that's just the same thing. So I do like the
Right,
float. So are
right.
you floating a lot?
I was floating a lot, so they have that at the facility, and I started using that right after practice, and it made me feel a lot better. And I wish I had known more about it, earlier in the season. But towards the end of the season, I started using that a lot more, and it made me feel really good afterwards. Like my muscles felt really good after going in the float tank. So definitely when next season comes, I'm going to be using that more often.
I think Tom Brady, like 4 or 5 years ago, just bought one for his house, and so I think he's been using that for like 4 or 5 years. So
That's the best.
yeah, but I mean,
So,
that just kind of goes to show you that I didn't know about this thing until like 6 months ago. But I mean, the
right.
float tank's been around for a decent amount. But um, something about that Epsom salt, man. My grandma's 93 years old, and when I was growing up, she'd always be like, "You ever get an injury, just like take an Epsom salt bath." And I'm
Right.
like, "Okay, grandma."
But she knew.
She knew, man.
I tell you what, man, it does some wonders. I'm not gonna lie, it does actually some crazy wonders.
Yeah, folks, if you have no idea what a float tank is, look it up. But I mean, you're in. There's thousands of pounds of Epsom salt in a bath, and you float there. You listen to music while you're in there. You just go complete dark, complete
Right,
relaxation.
right.
What do you do? Do you listen to music or just complete relaxation?
I mean, when I'm in there, it's just like I'm I'm laying. It's like a headrest, so it's like a circular headrest. So I'm on that, but I'm not really listening to a whole lot of music. So I mean, I'm not trying to take my little phone in there. So that's one thing. But I just kind of lay in there because I'm honestly just trying to be in and get out. But usually when I'm in there, I'm just knocked. So I mean, I'm hopefully I'm past 30 minutes. If I'm not past 30 minutes, it's just like, all right, well, it's time to get out anyway. But no music, just kind of in there in my thoughts, just kind of relaxing for once. Just kind of getting away from everything.
Brings me to another question I forgot to ask you earlier. What kind of music are we listening to here before games to get us pumped up?
It kind of depends. For a while, I was listening to a lot of Christian rap. So listen to a lot of Christian rap.
Some Lecrae.
Listen to Lecrae. A guy named Jordan May. Ty Brazel. Listen to Joey Ventas. So I listen to a lot of guys, man. A lot of guys, um, and then I listen to some rap, some rap. I listen to Nipsey, so I listen to some Nipsey before then. Listen to a lot of guys, just wherever to get me hyped up for a game. Honestly, 'cause I'm just trying to be in a different mind state. So yeah,
There's a
just a lot of people.
there's a lot of good Christian rap out there, man. I don't think we could have
Yeah,
said that before Lecrae. Before that, it was rough. It
yeah.
was rough.
I'm not gonna lie, it's true. It was true. It was rough. I mean, the only people that we could really rely on for some hip Christian music was Kirk Franklin. That was pretty much it for me. And other than that, it was tough. But now it's getting more relevant, more cool that you get to listen to people who are rapping that are Christians, just clean cut, good music.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, most people are drawn to a sick beat, and so
Right,
whenever you can hear a sick beat and you can actually hear some truth being spoken at
right,
the same time,
right.
that's good stuff. That's good
Absolutely.
stuff. Yeah, I'll never forget. A couple years ago, at one, I was taking some youth group kids home, and a bunch of kids were in the back, and I started to play some Lecrae, and it was the song "Hammer Time." And at the beginning, it was just like just a sick beat, and they were like, They were just like kind of vibing to in the back, and they go, "Who's this?" And I go, "You ever heard of Lecrae?" "No, man, never heard of Lecrae." I said, "Look him up." And then later, like, that was a Christian song. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily like think of it as like, oh, this is a Christian song, but
Right.
he's a Christian and he's rapping and
Making-
he's rapping truth.
Right. That's true. And that's the crazy thing. Like, a lot of guys, I'm telling them just like, yeah, Christian rap is it. But they think it's just, just music that's not good, but it's actually great music. It's clean. You can play it around your kids if you want to. And you get to hear about right. You get to hear about the truth. You get to hear about, what's right.
Yep. Amen, brother. All right, hey, let's get to the rapid fire, and we got about 12 minutes left.
Okay.
So this is my favorite part of the show, man. Okay. All right, rapid fire round. Juwan Johnson, thank you to Sheets. All right, here we go. New Orleans edition.
Okay.
Favorite restaurant in New Orleans?
Ooh, Desi Vega.
Current book you're reading?
Ooh, Get Wise.
The better cook, you or Shannon?
Ooh, Shannon for sure.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Breakfast.
Appetizer or dessert?
Appetizer.
Pencil or pen?
Pen.
Puppies or kitties?
Ooh, puppies.
Hot wings or barbecue wings?
Barbecue.
Instagram or TikTok?
Ooh, TikTok.
Favorite vacation spot?
Ooh, Maldives.
When you're not playing football, you're doing what?
Chilling with the wife.
Favorite sport besides football?
Track and field.
If you didn't play wide receiver, what position would you play?
Tight end.
Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
Who on the Saints is the team clown?
Ooh, Cam Jordan.
What kind of car are you eyeing up for a few years down the road?
Ooh, a Tesla Cybertruck.
And last but not least, where will the zip code be in 5 years?
They're going to be on iTunes. Big on YouTube. Yeah. Hey, why don't you throw it up on TV? All right.
Hey, I'm gonna be rivaling the Pat McAfee show.
Okay. All right.
Hey, who knows, man? That's the correct answer is who knows. That's just the correct answer.
Hey man, who knows?
All right, folks, and with that concludes the rapid fire round with Juwan Johnson. Now, puppies or kitties? Do you have a couple dogs now?
I got two. Got two pups.
What are their names?
One name is Hendrix. He's a French bulldog, and the other one is Fitzgerald. And honestly, we don't know what he is exactly. We think he's a lab, but we got him, and he was supposed to be a Chihuahua Terrier, and he's now 30 pounds, and a Chihuahua is not 30 pounds. So we're still trying to figure out what he is. So we're not sure. We're still trying to figure that out.
So, Hendrix and Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And you got them at the same time?
So I got Hendrix last year in April, and we got Fitzgerald at the beginning of December.
And these are they're somewhat little dogs, right? French bulldog and
somewhat. Well, the Frenchie is definitely little.
Wait, is the dog that Juju has, is that a French bulldog?
That is.
Okay.
That is. It's the same dog.
Same dog.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Juju, I know you're watching this and you're going to see it eventually. I mean, I'm an hour from Pittsburgh. Can we get a freaking interview, man? I mean, what's going on here?
Right.
I mean, what is going on here? Same with you, Trace McSorley. You got to come on the zip code. I don't want to hear any excuses.
Right.
Okay. No, that part of the show is over. Sorry.
Definitely got with that.
What's that?
They definitely got to get him on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Trace is dodging me, man. He's dodging me. He's afraid of the rapid fire round, Juwan.
That's probably it.
He probably saw your initial interview, how I said usually guys would, grab a Gatorade towel and a glass of water, and they sweat through the rapid fire. And he probably asking all these questions, doesn't want to answer them. But no, Trace, you're more than welcome to come on the show. Same with you, Juju, and that might be a reality in the future.
Right.
Oh, and Saquon, you can come on too whenever you want. All right, so folks, welcome. If you're just tuning in now, you're going to have to go back and watch this later on YouTube, but a great interview with Juwan Johnson. He's now TikTok famous. We couldn't talk about that in May. Thanks to Sheets Run and Done.
Right.
Also, thanks to Lem Shoes. Folks, look up Lem Shoes. Those shoes will I don't know that they'll change your life. Only the gospel will change your life, but the shoes will make your feet comfortable.
Right.
So Juwan, we got 6 more minutes here, 7 more minutes. Obviously, a bunch of people are throwing in here. Ask Juwan if Drew Brees is coming back. Yeah. Breaking news on the zip code, baby. Drew Brees is going to come back. Is there, so like in the off season for you, are you going to work with Jameis? What goes on? Or is that just completely, like you said, like you're working with high school quarterbacks, college quarterbacks, some pro quarterbacks? That's just basically who you're training with, wherever, some people go to LA or wherever they go. It's kind of like their own group. It disperses. But will you work with Jameis a little bit in the off season?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not sure. From what I know, Drew's still on the roster, so I still gotta work with Drew. If I might hit him up soon, say, because I know he stays in San Diego when it's in the off season, so I might have to just drive down a couple hours to go get some work with him. And I already told Jameis that I'll be in Florida to work out with him. So it's really just working out with whoever and whenever too, because you got to be available. I think the biggest thing is just getting your timing down and getting comfortable with both of them, or anybody rather. Knowing that you just got to better your game with whoever's under center.
Yeah. So, we talked a little about earlier, Drew Brees and his mental capacity and whatnot. But I do want to ask you, how hard is it, especially for players that do have families, to balance everything, man? Is that crazy for like 6 months out of the year just to try to balance, or is that not even a good word to describe that because there is none?
Yeah. It's actually, I think it's tough. You definitely have to get in a routine. You have to compartmentalize a lot of your mental. You have to know when it's home, just be home, and when it's work, to be at work, not to carry anything over and not to overlap. It's harder than what people think, and that's why a lot of guys, if personal issues are happening, they leave, because it's hard to try not to think about a lot of things when you're at work, or when you're at work, not to think about things when you're at home. So it's really tough. And I think the biggest thing is just having a good group around to, really hold you together and really get you together. So it's tough, man. I'm not going to lie. And even, having 2 dogs, coming home with 2 dogs and just trying to be home and, love up on the dogs, and definitely having a strong wife is something that's key too. But for people who aren't, married or have a family or even have dogs, it's kind of tough to just, be at home and really just, stay focused on you rather, because it's hard to be focused on you when, all you have is the game. And it's a lot, but you definitely just need a good group of people around you to keep you sane.
Yeah, for sure. And so with that, like during the season, let's say that once you got signed to the active roster, your comfortability, let's just say, and I'm going to throw out a number for the analogy here. Let's say your comfortability was at a 3. Your rookie, I'll give it a 3 out of 10.
Right.
Your second year, what are you thinking you're going to be at? If I'm giving you a 3 out of 10 as a rookie, just for comfortability, what do you think your second year will be?
I think it'll definitely be at a close, maybe at a 10, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say a 10 is just because, you've been through a year and you know what to expect. You know what you need to work on, especially going to the off season. And the guys around you. It's not like you're walking into a new team, maybe some new faces, but you know what to expect. You've been through a whole season, and you know the coaches. Some coaches are new. Some coaches you already coached for, already played for, and guys know what to expect out of you, and they expect more. And so that's just a new challenge. Second year is always an attack year, always a good year, especially if you didn't have the year you expected, the year prior or your rookie year, and it's really fun. I'm really excited to go in and show what I can do, and that's the best thing about it.
Now, when you score your first touchdown, do you have a celebration already in your head, or is that going to be random?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of my celebrations are just random. I score at some weird times. I'm not gonna lie, I score at really random, weird times. So I'm pretty sure it'll be as random as any of the other ones that I had before. So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
So I got a buddy. He's a huge Penn State fan, and the other day he said, "Juwan Johnson's going to come back on the show." I said, "Yeah." He said, "The guy that did this celebration at Iowa."
Yeah.
I said, "That's the guy." So that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I knew that ball was coming to me then, but I had no idea that I was going to do that. No idea. No clue. But it just happened. And that's the craziest thing about some celebrations. Some celebrations are planned out, but mine's not even close. I just did it.
That's awesome. So real fast here, where did that initial because I think you were on the team whenever Saquon started doing that. Where did that Saquon thing come? Because then I think I saw OBJ like in the NFL. I think he started doing that. So is that from something, or is that initially just from Saquon?
Not gonna lie, I will say Saquon can copyright that. That's definitely from him. He's the first person I've seen ever do that, and so he could definitely say that was his celebration. I don't know where it came from. He just started doing it.
Because I'm still to this day I'm trying to figure out what exactly that is. I mean, I don't I like it.
Right. No, I think that's definitely all Saquon. I think he was the first one to actually do that.
That's fabulous. And hey, you gotta love when people start copying you. I mean,
True.
so there you go. There you
Very.
go. So there's no like, is there some celebration planning from some offensive guys?
I definitely think so. Absolutely. I think that's something that's always talked about.
Yeah.
That's talked about. But it's fun. It makes the game so much more exciting watching it and playing.
Oh, for sure. I just love how the NFL a couple years ago was no celebrating at all. None.
Right.
You'll get fined.
Right.
Now it's like, do what you want.
That's very true. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, folks. Once again, the zip code with Sean Zipai. Watch this guy and his wife on TikTok. JUANDCHAN, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Jew and Shan.
Yeah.
Watch them on TikTok. You're going to be one of 1.6 million people that watch them on TikTok. So Watch them on TikTok. Root for this guy with the Saints. Juwan, we appreciate you being a man of faith, being a good example for a lot of those young kids out there, man, and representing. We appreciate you coming on the zip code. Best of luck. Hopefully soon, maybe next year, we'll see you play some ball. There's got to be fans in the stands. There's got to be. And we got to look up that restaurant in New Orleans and eat there, whatever that place was.
Absolutely. Desi Vega, man. So definitely appreciate it. It's good to get back on here after a year, man.
Hey, always available for you, Juwan. We have a standing invitation to the zip code for Juwan Johnson.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Folks, thanks for watching the zip code, Juwan. Thanks again, man. Appreciate it. Tell your wife thanks for driving you safely wherever you were going. And thank you to Sheets, Lems. I love you, Shenango Valley. We'll see you all soon, Juwan. Thanks again, man. We'll catch you later.
Absolutely. Take care, man.